It's gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt everyone else. This is gonna hurt me more reading this than it's gonna hurt everyone else. I can't I think. So chapter Operation 5.2. What goes? It reads from right. It reads from left to right because I was thinking of I was thinking of Western because I was like Western people probably want to read it because that's where I'm from the Western world. So Western, so we had to put it like that. Um, Colors mangas because the writer sucks at coloring. There is some coloring, but it's only web form, only web based form. You'll get the coloring. So it's you again. I thought I had this place. Oh, I, I thought I had this place. I thought this. I thought I had scanned this place. You think you how could you? You weak-minded phantom, like you shouldn't be able to detect the minds on a higher level. I'm Ingrid, lineage of Lord Henri. Oh, yeah, he's supposed to look like Richie Rich, or um, he's supposed to look like Richie Rich, basically, with the swirl on the head and stuff like that. And he's actually wearing like all greens, like Cash. Um, and your teammate Blaney, where is he? Shamefully, he cannot. Shamefully, he's dead. Shamefully, he's dead. We couldn't achieve our objective because of your resistance, but I never killed him. Damn right, you couldn't have. He died because of his own failures. I've always been, I've always been the most superior phantom descent, and I'm not ending up like him. Cash, I need you to get to safety. Get out of here right now. Uh, I can't. Cash, listen. The ghosts that you fear. I'm one of them. I wanted them, and then he's like, "Run!" Ah! And then she's swoosh, 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 and he gets hit. And he cuts his chest. Gosh, this was so rudimentary. I mean, I because I'm looking back at this, and then she does the face, and then swooshing, swing, and then he comes around to touch her face. Let me touch her face, and then she dashes. Trying the same old trick again, huh? It must be hard for you to contend without a gun. Who, who said I wasn't armed? Who said I wasn't armed? And then, you must be wondering how I got Seraphima back. I struck a deal with the director of the BA to get these old Desert Eagle remodeled. Reduction on the reduction on the recoil, less jamming. Less jamming. Less jamming. The clip is maybe a better maybe a better smaller, but firepower range is greatly increased. Listen, I don't know. I don't think I knew what I was talking about. Let's just say that. I probably don't know what I was talking about when I was making this. I was in love with the fact that I made new guns, a few extra components. I took out guns and made them more fantasy like. A few extra components were added to the body of the gun. It may be heavier, but adding the flint wheel to it only increases its power. The burning ones will now escort you to hell. And yeah, there's some stuff I put in there that I was like, that gun model, like, it could be better. Also, there's some stuff you have to when I make my mangas, there are things in it that you have to reread twice to see that like I was foreshadowing a lot of stuff. Like there's a surface level, and then I was like, I put stuff in there that you like, you have to go back. Like you have to backtrack to like this episode to something before, and be like, oh wow, that happened before. So like I would sneak something that I'm going to do in the future in the back of the manga. And she goes back, um, and then she breaks the light, and then he lights up a cigarette, because he's a pyromancer, and then the light goes out. Hey Matt, look at this place. Look at this place. People have so much time on their hands. Looks like it's only gang activity here. So we're going to split from here and look for another extraction point. Ah, the bleach sleeves tight on my arms. Okay, I don't know what that has to do with the mission, but mission. Wait, are you stalling? And then he does his face here. I gotta remember what I was even doing. Maybe because you think the phantoms are hiding in this building. No, no, that's not it. Sure. Where do you go? And then, get this doorknob, and we look into this place, and then we hear sobbing. Who's making that? Who's making that sound? Is it a phantom? And then he gets past there, and then Cash. Where's Estation at? He's a phantom. And then this is best. I think this guy is the coolest. He's wearing a Scully. This is like chapter one villain. Um, this guy here. I like everything about him. Uh, he's right. He's right. All right. Is there a way that I can do the voice? Hey, he's right. Yeah, he's he's right. You should stay away from him. Oops. I guess he meant me. And then he gets his big dome. Yeah, and then he gets his like big dome of paper, just like that goes around in like in a 3D kind of shape. I was just doing things. So this fisheye lens kind of thing, and then after here he's like, I don't, I don't wait. Who's okay? Yeah, it's Phantom him speaking. Yeah, okay. I know you didn't. I know you didn't come alone. You must have been accompanied. Yeah, I know you didn't come alone. You must have been accompanied by others. Am I right? It doesn't matter. I know. It doesn't matter. I know you must be wondering who I am at least. I am known as Phantom Him. It is best that we do not meet again, or else your mind will be entrapped in the sound of adulation for me. By the way, I've taken the child with me. Uh, Man, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've ever had to read this thing. Gosh, this is where I want to get back to it. Like, but I gotta go finish the game first. And then we cut back to the fight, and a slice, and then she dashes back. Zoom, zoom, zoom. This is my manga. My manga, Black Suit Men. Um, 10 years in the making. I'm impressed by your new guns and how durable they are. Blaney told me I would have a better chance finding you at close range. Maybe you want to try blocking. Maybe you want to try blocking my attack again with those faulty weapons. Memory consumption, focus energy, and then she powers up the weapon. Goes bigger. Uh, it's gone. Well, it was made at that time, but wasn't made with that time. So she powers up her glaives, like with her memory consumption, because that's what Phantom can do. And then she dodges with her eyes closed. You really think that you're really taking advantage of the moment, aren't you? Uh, are moment. Are you afraid I'm what I'm playing next? So right here, when people go through their transformation and stuff like that. So he's taking advantage of the transformation of sequence that they usually go through. It's a racing suit. Yeah, okay, I'll go with it. Yes. I listen, I drew what I felt was on my mind. I don't even know, man. I drew what I felt was there. That needed to be there. And then he's aiming from the dark, and then he snaps his fingers because he's able to snap his fingers and do the thing. Um he snaps his fingers and Batum. If you see the anime Batum, here you go. This is a Batum. Is this a Batum reference? Yes, this is a Batum reference. So you can tell what year this was made. Well, if you see the anime Batum right here, yeah, you know this was 2012. You, you don't know what Batum is? Okay, hold on. Let me help you out with this. What is Batum? Um, this is Batum. This is the anime Batum. It was like 2012. So there you go. This is a 2012 reference because this manga was made back in 2012. So that's how you know what year what year it was. Not current year. So it would not probably wouldn't even fly in this current year of everything with of all of everything. Time to get yeah, pretty much time to cancel something that didn't get too far, but it will probably get far when I get back to it. When we get the resurrection of Black, um, or Operation Minus Black, which is canon. Um, don't worry. Don't worry. You should worry about numbing the. Oh wait. Okay, here we go. Right here. You were outmatched. You were outmatched. I allowed you to mind link with me to lure you into a false pretense. You shouldn't. You shouldn't worry about. You shouldn't worry much about mumble. About. Oh, sorry. I'll kill you. You should worry more about numbing the pain. I doubt you want to keep feeling it. And then him is going to kill me for my failures anyways, just like Blaney. What does it have to do with me? Blaney and I are of Lord Henri's lineage. Ooh, name drop. The new head of this society. The new head of the society. Your friend. Oh, and then there's some intrigue. Like, oh, he's like, look, his eyes darkened too. He's like, Teh. So, God. So, how are you these manga? Yeah, I drew all this. Um, I wonder how you do these manga panels. You would have to just cut them out, like you know the other game that I played where it's kind of well, actually no, you just put them in and then scroll the picture. I guess that's a good question. So every time Yashiro, everything with Yashiro was me practicing Japanese. So he's like, he's yawning, and he's like, hey, what took you so long? I was kind of wondering. I was kind of thinking you can give back that overpriced brat, and you know, I like doing. I learned from Sailor Move the blank stares. Yeah, I didn't want to. I went with comic font because it was a comic, one and two. You had to pay for fonts, so I stick with this. Thank you very much. So I stick with comic font because I was like, oh, maybe this is a cheaper method. Yeah, if you use a certain font, some fonts aren't free. I learned that after like a while because I was like doing this comic font. I was because I was making a comic, so I was like, oh, comic font, why not? And I know the memes about it, but I was like, you know, and so yeah, some comics some fonts are free, but I didn't learn that lesson until like later down the road. Um, yeah, but this was commercial. This wasn't like this was for commercial use. I was selling this book, so that's the difference. There is when you're not selling the book. I could be wrong. But what happens is there's times where you're not selling the book and you put it out there. But my intention was to sell the book, make money, and I did sell the book and make money. Not enough money, but I made money. Um, but you know, had to put this on hiatus. That's why I went for at least 10 years. Yeah, I sold this already. Yeah, people have bought this book, but I said like not a lot of people bought this book in the long run. But I have sold copies of Black Suit Men. And there's some still on the site that can be bought. So you're parting it. Yes, I am part. That seems like it seems so. You're getting the authors read the authors. You're getting well. This is a special moment of the book. You know, you don't get this with the book if you just buy it. This is a moment that you get if you are on stream of the author. He can tell you everything he's done with the book and so on. Also, I can show off my books because I have physical copies right next to me. and I showed him off a couple of times. But yeah, this is the copy right here. Yeah, I have copies of it. Let me just grab them right here. Uh, uh, okay, so as you can see, I have I have these copies of it. I have uh volume three, a black cement. It's because of green screen, so back and front. You can get them at lulu.com. Um, I got the volume two, obviously because the green screen, doing messing around with it, and volume one, it's a reprint and has Phantom Hint on the back of it. So I have all three copies over 10 years of drawing these books and stuff like that. See, three copies back and front. There is a physical copy, and this is the digital copy. So because I was trying to go for a hybrid kind of thing. I was like, I know everyone's gonna read it digital, but I know people want a book form of it, so that's why I print it out from book. Hmm, you're not much of a talker, I guess. And then he has his own custom blade and stuff like that. Well, that's what he uses the most. I should tell you something. I should tell you something. If you fandoms really want to commence a sneak attack, you shouldn't turn on the power on an abandoned building. I like this. I like this shot. I didn't like the Jin Kazama pants I gave him. I was like, oh, cool. Let's make him cool by giving him Jin Kazama like pants like Jin Kazama. But I was like, that's ruining the suit. So I stopped that. So Shiro gets his phone out, okay, and then he gets like, and see, look at that. And then he uses his iPhone 4 because it was the style of the time. Actually, never mind. I will give him. Yeah, it was the style of the time, to use his iPhone 4. Actually, never mind. I gave up the will to never draw. So he's like, Hige sorry. He's like, Hige sorry. He got more upbeat. And then it's Shaver. So then he brings out his sword. And then they clash. So his Phantom Blade is just. His Phantom Blade is just made out of thoughts, and as there's a cool texture on it, and Yoshiro and just going, kashing. Okay, a, a, uh, a strong, a, a strong, a strong black ace agent. Usually, I can chop them in half with one swing. My name is Samura Yoshiro, captain of the Black Suit Men Unit 03. I doubt you have a chance to do that, person in my rank. And he's a captain because you can see the thing, and look at that. I had to. You know how many times I had to fix his face here? I had to fix it. I mean that your art is so good, and even yeah. I mean, it got better. It's an artist thing, and it's an artist thing to kind of be like, well, yeah, my art was bad because it was bad at this time, but I did somewhat improve it from there. I mean, some of it was like this is like I'm learning. I just got like 2 years out of college, and I wanted to keep improving my skills. So I was like trying to draw, just do manga and comics, so I can improve my art skills for like illustration. Um. Oh yeah, it takes. I'm an introvert, so what happens is like it takes. So I'm hyper focused when it comes to things, um, and I had a lot of time. I had some time on my hands and stuff like that. So what I was doing here was I taught a lot of people uh design and composition. Like after I got out of art college, I taught a little bit of art. I didn't teach officially, but I taught people about art and composition and like how to follow your eye. So these lines here is that it takes your eye and moves it across the screen. So as I brought the reviewer over here, I had to find a way to get them back here. So I had to try to drag them there, try to go here and start them here, and then bring them across there, and then bring them around here. Uh, well, oh, well, Yoshiro. let's wrap this up. But I'm not. I'm really surprised about how you could make. You could make me. How you could take me on this level. Does it have anything to do with the overtime position? That's what I vaguely heard about. I liked you better when you didn't talk. Well, I was hinting to something. And then you get more panels. He's got that coat. I think I made his coat color pop. So uh, his slash goes for slashes, runs in, and I like this. I kind of like this one, where he bounces the blade off, and then he bounces it through the panels, and then here's him, and then he lets go of the things. He killed a robot and cloned himself. No, no, no. But he, I think someone said he was a robot, but I was like, yeah, you know what? We'll go with that. Let's go with that. Like I think people said that they called him a robot. They're in the previous panel. Oh, which one? This one? The bottom part. Include himself. Yeah, or he's using Kagebushin no Jutsu, or whatever how to pronounce it. So Photoshop, and then I was thinking of this for marketing, having suits with the Black Two Men logo on it, because my brother he had a suit with like a hustler with the word Hustlers Depot on the back of it, and I was like, oh, that would be cool if I can have suits marketed with the logo on the back. Like that was like the ultimate goal. Yeah, that was the ultimate goal. Having suits when people go to a con, they would have like a suit with the logo on the back of it, like right off the rack kind of suits, but they would have a logo on the back of the suit, so it's Black Suit Men. I don't think it was. I don't. Naruto came out in 2008, so yeah, you could say that. And Naruto was airing at the time, so it could be because of Naruto. I mean, but Attack on Titan has their thing. Um, but this was the symbol. This is the symbol of the thing. Like everyone had their symbol kind of thing. Bleach has the skull. Naruto has the leaf thing. Attack on Titan has the wings. That's this is before Attack on Titan. I was like, let's put the ace of spade on the back. Or if in modern times people would think, oh, this person's getting blacked, so the ace is now ruined. But anyways, I mean, look, the fandoms have their own symbol there, but it's too tiny to see. Um, but it's basically a mixture of the ko and a, the Japanese symbol. So he lets go of his chains, and over here, like I said, yeah, Yoshiro doesn't have a blast, so docha. I forgot what was happening here. I think it was for his blast. Um, he doesn't shoot it, but he can hold it, so he can generate it. And spoilers, his father and his brother can also do it. They have different versions of it and different colors when I get there. So another question about these mangas: are you using templates for this? No, I'm making everything by hand. Everything, all these squares, all these models, everything's by hand. I don't use 3D models. I didn't use any of that. This is me just trying to figure out. I'm using under. I'm using blue guidelines that I made. So it's like, yeah, 100% me, nothing like that. This is before you can even get 3D models. Like I didn't even know you can get 3D models until people were like, yeah, I use 3D models, Clip Studio Paint, and like I use 3D models. Like I bought a 3D model when it's lost. Well, I had a 3D model, but what happens is like I thought I could use it. You can get 3D models in Clip Studio Paint now, and what happens and draw over them. But you can see like, no, this is all me trying to work out perspective. So I did like perspective drawings, and that's the problem. A lot of the artists these days are shortcutting, but not knowing how to make the cuts. I mean, AI is now beating out the artists who don't really think, but the artists from from 2010 to at least 2020, before the AI era, the ones I know were doing a lot of shortcutting by using 3D models to make the thing. They didn't really do comics, but they did a lot of they did a lot of like using 3D models to like model the characters. And sometimes they make 3D models, but it still doesn't make their art better because they're like, oh, maybe if I, because I know some artists and stuff like that, they use 3D models, but the art doesn't isn't better. It's just it doesn't like you because like you use it, but you're missing all the details. Like you have the imagination is not there to fill in the gaps of like how the body would bend, and you can only do so much limited things, even for illustration. So, um, yeah, that's the problem with the thing. So, I'm not saying I'm better, but what I'm saying is that I had to learn like the old masters because that's what they taught me and stuff. So he's got belts on his arms too. So he does this like he does a small little ball of energy, and Yoshiro clashes with him, and then he walks away, but then he puts out this big shield to protect the wall, protect the uh, cache from being destroyed by the blast, and walks away. He's already he's gone already. He wasn't that serious. So, uh, and then the stupid Jinkazama pants. And so I didn't. The problem was I didn't work with lighting too. I think lighting was. I didn't learn work with lighting until like down the road, kind of thing. 15 more minutes until five. I guess we will do a thing. Well, wait. I guess he didn't power his sword, huh? You know what? I thought this was a chapter that he did it. My bad. I picked this chapter thinking I was gonna find the thing that he did a thing. I guess he didn't do it, huh? Whoops, wrong chapter. Um, but yeah, you don't need to know the end of it. Stuff happens and stuff like that. I guess this wasn't a chapter, huh? I promised Mops that I was gonna find a chapter. I guess that was the wrong chapter. Oh, we'll have to pick it up. But where is it? Okay, so if it's not there, when does he do it? Does he do it earlier? Oh, you know what? Okay. It's in the newer ones. So I think after the school, because there's a school episode. There's a obligatory school episode has to be inside every manga because because this is this is a school episode. As you can see, that new character, next best girl. I mean, all the girls are good. What am I talking about? There's some more cake for anyone hungry, and then there's a explanation of stuff. So you got the school thing going here, but what happened here again? Yeah. So I'm going backwards. Yeah, this is where I started. This is the actual manga. Yeah, I did all this art. I'm trying to find a certain panel to explain something, but I can't. I don't know where I put it. Um. Okay, if it's not there, it's either in the few. Actually, it goes. I think it goes longer than this. This is not where it stops. I guess I didn't add it to this one. Um, if I'm right, let me go to this chapter here. You gotta probably start from the beginning of the chapters. Plot twist. This is not his manga. Wow. Yeah, it wasn't me. Oh, anyways, yeah, there's this infirmary. Um, oh yeah. So now you can kind of see, okay. So this part here, his father didn't have hair in the first chapters. He had no hair because I was like, I didn't want to, like, I didn't know if I should put him with hair or didn't have hair, but um, if this is the right thing, um, yeah, here you go. He was he was balding before, so this is him in the beginning, and I was like, he's supposed to be 60s years old. He doesn't have to be balding. So, um, this is him without hair. He's looking like Dr. Phil, and this is him with hair, but also looks different. So I brought him back. Actually, let me just let me actually go back. I'll have to read this at some time, but um, let me just go back to where his first appearance. That was like, oh gosh, I need to add hair to this guy. It would only because I was like, I don't know. I guess I was thinking that he would be bald. Um, where is it again? We get to the school. No, that's before that. Um, this is where he gets on the talk show. Oh yes, and then what happens is that we pull up a car. You see the quality starts to change as as things go by. And then this is him. This is probably like one of my favorite panels here. And he's like, Captain, Captain Yushiro, this what happened here? Oh, Captain Yushiro, is this gentleman? Oh, Captain Yushiro, is Captain Yushiro? This gentleman, the director. That's that's the director of the Black Hills of Japan, the old Reaper, my father, and then ends there. You know, this thing. Should if people are interesting, if people are interested, I could go back to like I could do all that, but I did art stream, didn't pick up, so I was like, oh, okay, art probably not for Twitch, or there's just too many artists out there, so it's like I'm gonna get drowned in there, so there's no point. You have to have an audience who wants to see, so you can actually give. So what happens is like there was no reason to actually like do it because there's no one there, that kind of thing. Um, would have loved to do that. I would have started doing that if I could. Um, and that kind of stuff. So I think it's right here. I think this is where he actually shows off the stuff because I usually I usually do the thing early and show off the stuff. Then what happens is I get to a chapter where I think it really works. Um, so that's actually there's kind of a controversial thing. So there's things that people are surprised to see. So this is in Japan. Because the story had to get there, and here we go again. Well, next time we get here, I'll read a whole chapter, and I'll show the whole thing. Ishiro bounces off the wall, and then he clashes with he hits what's his name Phantom his chains. You can see and then what happens is that he moves his eye, slashes his mask. Not this again, him. And so him gets him with the Phantom Ball, and Yoshiro does the Batsuhatsu, and then wait, where did I? Oh, hey, look! Does this look familiar? Does this look like a familiar scene? Can anyone tell me where you might have seen it? You know what? Doesn't that look familiar, Mops? As something that looks like hand signs. Look, that must be a callback to something. So Yoshiro does Batsuhatsu Honey, and then he does Phantom Bomb, clashing both of their things. Um, then what happens is that they go from like colliding their two energy balls together, and then they go boom, and then they hit their fist. So they they clash it, and then they go and they go, and then they grab it. So they end up grabbing their own powers, like just clutching it, and then doing a punching with their own fist. And then what happens is like he's like, I'll give you, and then and then this is where he does the powering of the blade because he's already powered. His hand's like already powered, so he just strikes. He just rubs his hand across the blade. He's like, I'll give you another chance, and before I plunge this blade into you. And then what happens is, and then him's got like different power ones, and they're like making that. Okay. Oh yeah. Also, I think what happens is they had exchange of the power. um his key energy and his mind energy, they kind of like switched over, so now Ishiro's key energy is powering up him's phantom blade and make him quite unstable, while Ishiro's sliding the phantom energy over his sword. And then here they come for a clash. Suit. I'm ready. soon I'm ready to snip your life from this world. So he has his like arms like this. Um, tell me him. What is your plan? Why did you follow me to Japan? And then what happens is that these black bubbles are like in his mind. So like it's like no one else is supposed to hear this. So that's why like you know they're saying so. He's like follow you. Don't think of yourself being that important to my plans. You're just another stepping stone in my path. And he's like, oh, goddamn. Oh, oh. So that's why you're here. Who, who is he? I never heard of him. Oh, him? No need to, no need, no need to, no need, no need to make, no need to make sure. What did I say here? No need to make a no deal. You get need to make no need to make a deal. I'll get you what you need. Okay, well, the quality assurance was not that great on there. You should let him voice act. You should let me voice act him as well. Well, maybe next time when we get to this, if we get to if we get to like more reading and stuff like that, I just want to kind of show off my manga, but yeah, no, this is Phantom Him, but no, I'm only struggling because when it comes to reading my own words, I know what I'm saying, but I don't feel confident in what I'm saying. So I know what I'm saying. I'm saying the things that are on, but I'm like, no, wait, that's not how it's supposed to said. Like this is grammatically incorrect. But when my mind when I did it at that time, I'm like, this sounds great. I love it. But I didn't have any quality assurance because no one wanted to. I asked family, hey, would you like to read this? I asked friends, hey, would you like to beta read this? But no one wanted to read it. So there was no love for like getting this out there. No beta readers. No one wanted to take the dedication because it wasn't popular enough. So why would they want to do that? Something like that. That's the problem. When you're like when you make a game or all the stuff like that. I should have next time we get around to this. I'll get you on there and we can have a reading party. You can get your copy of Black Suit Men and you can keep up with me. And then we all can get a copy of Black Suit Men. Um, volume 3. We can all get a copy of this, and we all can sit around the circle and be like, I really love how the author really displays the emotional. Like we can have our book reading thing. It's like, hey guys, we're gonna all go read Black Cement today. All right, okay. How do you feel about the character? Do you think you can relate to Yoshiro? Does Yoshiro feel like he's the kind of character you can relate to? And be honest, I was trying not to let people relate to Yoshiro, but in the end, uh, people relate to Yoshiro. I was trying to, at the time, I was doing something different. I was trying to like get people to like Mathan more than Yoshiro, but I realized I think it's by this time, this chapter or something like that. I realized I'm like, why am I trying to make people like Mathan? Oh yes, okay. I was going through a phase where I was like, "Where's my black people of anime? Where's my black? Japan should have more black people anime." Like I was going through the what people on Twitter are going through now, where they're like, there should be more of the representation in my manga and stuff like that. But then I was like, "What the hell am I doing?" As I got older and stuff like that, I realized, "What the hell am I doing with myself? Like, why am I trying to push Than like all like over like this the story. Like he can be the main character, but what happens is he doesn't have to replace Yoshiro. And so what happens that I had to get that mindset out of my head and then actually like um just let the and just do the story. I mean I you didn't see nothing. You didn't see nothing, good sir. You did not see nothing. You keep your mouth closed. So um I guess it's 2016. So I learned that I need to keep my mouth. I need to keep my mouth shut and and stuff like that. Just kind of like just do the thing. So this here is a page I was saying. This was a recruitment because I didn't have a job and well, I don't have a job again. But what happens is what this was a employment letter, not employment letter, but a job search letter for those who wanted to become um, part of Black Two Men. So Black Two Men was written in a way that um, it was written out of what I did not have. I didn't have a job, and so what happens is like Black Two Men came from like it's one of those artist passions like you write what you know, and I was job searching and I couldn't find a job, and I couldn't find something that really related to me. So I ended up just like what I did was like I put what I was lacking into the story. So this would come at the end of the book, and it was like, okay, well, maybe you want to be part of the Black Suit Men. So able to minimize potential threats according to the operative jobs for both the dogs and the Black Suit Men division, able to work unpredictable, demanding stuff. So I would go to like the local YMCA, and go like, okay, well, I'm looking for a job, but then I would also study the job letters and like the not applicants, but um the requirement stuff like and stuff like that myself. And I'm like, okay, well, you need all these stuff, and this is what came out of it. Um, and then like there's a push to make more money, but this wasn't really selling. Like it sold a couple books, but it wasn't really selling. But it sold a couple books, not enough to like keep me going in it. Plus, like you're trying to get people to read the digital and web comic version. You want people to buy the book, but if they you had the book was already out there, but the stuff was out. So you know, I did what I could, and this isn't the end. There's actually more chapters that are unfinished. It goes beyond this. This is chapter 14.1. I think there's like 15. There's yeah, there's another chapter, but not in this folder. Surprisingly, this must have been the big book I was going to print out with like all of both volume 1, 2, and 3. Let me check. This was supposed to be the one that has supposed to have volume. Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, this was supposed to be the big book. This was supposed to have 1, 2, and 3 into all into one. And I was going to sell this. This you're going to get a book like this big, this thick. If I got to print that one, because printing cost is going to be something to worry about. But this is what this was going to be. So mops question: what do you think what do you think Black Two Men was going to be? Do you think this could have been a visual novel, or do you think this could have been like what kind of game do you think this could have been in the end? Because I mean, I didn't read the full chapter. Maybe Friday I'll read the whole thing. But out of what you saw, or anything you saw, what do you think Black Suman could potentially be? I got these in the wrong order. Actually, let me put this here. RPG maybe, RPG maybe. Yeah, lots of combat, lots of it in like in mystery and intriguement and stuff like that. I mean, like I said, I haven't gone through most. I've only scraped the surface of like 10 years of content. Like we didn't even get to the dogs. Well, I mean, I went over the dogs. I went over like the backstories. I went over um things like that happened in the past. I even went over the extra characters that are supposed to show up. Like there's another chapter with like another group and stuff like that. This is just getting into Japan. So by the time I actually got into Japan arc, which would probably be like Black Superman 2, Electric Blackaloo. Yeah, that's not great. It's a working title. It's a project title. But what happens is like we were supposed to get into like the ISCS over here, the international control security sector, and this was a desk shot, like above version of desk shot. But yeah, so the idea was that this was supposed to be the big book, and that's why and yes, that's why Yoshiro has a glowing blade. Yes, so we went around the full circle, but this is why Yoshiro has a has a glowing blade. But he won't be an almanac. No, he maybe. He is for those who want to play your Shiro in OmanaC. There is a version out there. I don't think many people played it, but there is a version of him in it, but not in the current OmanaC. Will not get Oh yeah, also on RPG Maker. Where you won't get Yoshiro in there again, or or Crude Metal Methan, which is also in in an Almanac, which I guess I don't have his picture. Or what's that thing? Yeah, somewhere here he's part of the folder here. I gotta go to see. And this order. Oh yeah, here's Methan. You won't get him in Almanac, but it would have been nice. Like he has the moves here. He has a card set up for like not. He won't be in the game, but he has a card set up, and this is custom art. I didn't. Well, I mean custom art. This is art made for the card game, so that's why like this was made for the card game. Maybe you might. I was supposed to get Lucica in there too. I have an artwork for her for a chapter that is not even done yet for an attack that she does in the story. So she does this cool thing, and there's art made for her. I had to look into the folders, um, and even for where's crude metal? C C for crude. Yeah, crude metal won't be in there. Um, even though he is a black suit men character, I kept them out, but they're canonically in the story of Black Suit Men. It's just that they're not in the game, but there are. I want them. I usually make them canonic first, then I put them into like other media. So what happens is I establish the lore first. I mean, some people just make the characters as they go, but I make my characters first, then I put them into other medias, and I don't know. If Friday works out how it is, if there's no indie games that we played, we'll read some Black Suit Men. Fine as that. That's all I can really say. So that's all I got to really say about Almanac Black Suit Men cross. Well, I mean, look at this Almanac cross Black Suit Men. Yeah, it's in the works. It just didn't fulfill. We'll see.